The parochial savage tried to counterfeit me for a while when I was in the grip of neurotrauma. Keep in mind that I had been kidnapped and tortured as a child and not yet remembered because the weld had not yet burst. Um, so the fear of being tortured again was what they were using to interrogate with. And they depicted me as the parochial savage, the lewd, sniveling Gregory Carl and his ilk. Depicted me as Peter Lorre because they had manufactured an abortion. They paid for and sponsored an abortion with an undercover attack prostitute. Just imagine if I had done that to one of them. It's beneath me. I wouldn't have even been able to think of such a rotten, low-down thing to do. But gutter snipes have an aptitude for low-down cunning, and so do their proteges in King Crimson. Acid twerps from the parochial sly of Frank Zappa. Well, they had this line in the script, you could have saved John Lennon. It was all ensnared in suggestion. Only two people would know the date by 6 years, and it's important, the Peter Lorre image, because it comes from Hollywood psychology. If you look at the contraption that they put together, Dealey Plaza, the first person to reach the limousine was named Clint Hill, and then we get a Hill Clint. There was somebody making movies named Charles Bronson. Did you know that Charles Bronson had a film called The Mechanic? And his veins pop out in the way the dude Casper. They're both from Pennsylvania. In fact, one of the most closely resembling persons to Bronson in the script had a revolving bookshelf in his attic with a hidden room. That was one of the houses that was burned down and left stand. They also had a rockery. Remember that line in Ratman's notebooks? Mother says there's rats in the rockery. Willard. Well, Charles Bronson's mechanic also has a line, licking chicken is chicken licking, is licking chicken. This is, you're looking at a man who they castrated for failure to date rape. Because she was still a virgin, I was licking chicken with chicken licking. And this is the triumph of the will strategy of these brutalizers of children in the University of Pittsburgh who send in Putin's Ono gang to kidnap and torture people who stood up. My father was a school bus driver. How did Schulman's gang, Netanyahu's gang, answer this? By hiring a stunt driver to race around the Kelly School bus while I was a passenger, so they can finger point at me. What was I supposed to do? Hit him while he was? It was bad enough that he was pulling this goddamn stunt. Took me completely by surprise. So I reported him. I dissociated, left town for 2 years of homelessness. Seattle offers me asylum. Ripper murders a girl, says it's for a Schulman penny, and then castrates me. Finally, he gets arrested. But COVID comes down, so they give him house arrest because they're soft on Netanyahu. One of his employees was working with one of Trumpy Toon's speechwriters. If you want to know where the books Wentworth, Don Wentworth, Don Wentworth. I don't know who it Wentworth. I don't know who it Wentworth. So we have Clint like Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson like Charles Bronson, Hill Clint like Hill Clint, Obama like Osama. It's a contraption by the assassin group. And I was attacked by men named Ronnie and Casper. And I'm Jimmy C. Did you know that was the president too? Ronnie and Casper attacking Jimmy C. And this business about chicken licking is licking chicken got Jimmy Carter to go along with Mount Desert Island. He hasn't even complained they threatened me with asbestos because he's so scared of the black. The black will say no. The black man, you take a black man's boogie monster because I'm a white boogie monster with black man. So George Takei was in The Green Berets, a movie that had a soundtrack artist with a book called Double Identity, like Double Fantasy. You get the picture. Melvin Belly was on Star Trek with George Takei, and he represented Jack Ruby, who had the same psychiatrist as Charlie Manson. Starting to see how this operated? The man who was the star witness for the Warren Commission, Warren, like Warren, Ohio, Warren Commission, was in fact just let out of a mental institution. His name was General Edwin Walker, where he had been incarcerated for leading a race uprising at the University of Mississippi. And when Kennedy closed his show, he threatened to kill Kennedy. He's featured on a 1962 dust jacket of a book about Oswald Mosley called The Fascists in Britain. Clint and Oswald. Mosley, Clinton. Eastwood is because they use Midori as a symbol. Eastern wood. Get it? And they took away the morning wood of licking chicken is chicken licking. This is how they think. They're psychotic. They think they're rednecks. A redneck revolver underlies change, undercuts hope. Why are they so strange, those towny boys? And Al Swinson and all the waitresses of Western Pennsylvania. And they says, here we have the Cray motto of the elder man coming to you from Western Washington without leotard, where I tuck my tip from Vince Irene into my brassiere and proceed to the grapevine of Seattle, Washington, because we know what Licky Chops means. Licky Chops means an undercover pit news investigator following an entrapment operation, Bear Trap, that was deployed to justify the AIDS attack. No, he was after the pussy. He was after the smorgasbord. Now, Greg Carl puts it, he was subjected to successive degradations of the X motive because Frippy Toon and Thinfield, they chicken licking is licking chicken, and virginity proves rape. We can't have these queer rates. He thinks he's got the status of a Jew. He thinks he's got the status of a queen. He thinks he's got the status of a Negro just because he's been tortured, deafened, subject to a nerve agent, castrated, beaten, and dragged through glass. Chicken licking is licking chicken. And what was the rape turn out to be? A nerve agent that welded shut a memory of a child in trauma, like one of those kids in Gaza, being kidnapped and tortured on a snowy day. But aha, I'm looking for favoritism because my father was a World War II veteran, and the Japanese widow of the Tojo Ronin says no. Clint Eastwood says no. Michael Reagan says he wants to see his favorite scene some more. I know Michael Reagan's favorite scene was when I was 9 years old. They were doing like this here while I was sleeping. It was dripping all over my face when I woke up. And these are the heroes who are going to rescue us. For Roger Waters, from the pale liberals of the public schools, and Toon, the great hero, will be greeted with all kind of applause for enforcing John Lennon's code of child soldiers at Safeco, where when the elderly spinster widow gives you a drink laced with biological deterioration and alcohol and you're about 11 years old, it's your fault, little queer ball. Etro says so. This is a special arrangement with the FBI. How do you like them apples? Don't say apple. Don't say apple. You'll have a They had it all figured out when they put Toon as a Tamo de John Mesmer in the film Network. They laced it all into George Takei. He was in the Green Berets, the weirdest movie ever made. It opens with the Marines singing in German. And it's about promoting us going to the rescue of the Vichy French who were allies of Japan in Vietnam. So he sings in German. America to the rescue of Hitler's Germany. Why not sing in German? And they shoot JFK and give a little all the way with LBJ Snide in the overlap of the drug promotion, because they are promoting LSD all through it. They're promoting weird skin infections all through it. It's the weirdest movie that was ever made. And the double identity, double fantasy, double illusion traces back to the room behind the revolving bookshelf of the Bronson Mesmer, to Fayum's counterfeiting ring and D'Annunzio, Luigi Freddi, Mussolini, and D.W. Griffith, whose assistant director, Raoul Walsh, made Hitler Reagan's wartime films, and it mirrors perfectly Dealey Plaza, his last film, The Killers, made simultaneously, mirrors perfectly the revolving door between reality and fiction. And we're supposed to be Rod Serling because Pittsburgh says no. Pittsburgh says that's a version, and it's a barely legal version because you're framing the demagogue who did it. Framing the demagogue who did it. We're off to frame the demagogue who did it and the wonderful Wizard of Oz. He framed himself. And for good measure, he pretended he was Shaw. He had me there for the show with his attorneys. They give me a brochure from Pentagon Disney. There's no such thing as objective reality, only what the jury believes. And they say if I so much as kiss another woman, they're going to put creepy crawlies into my anus. And they've already used all sorts of bacteriologics on me. They used scabies on Mount Desert Island and checked the hospital records. They poisoned me in the mouth, asked the witnesses. They slyly encrypted COVID. Look at the documents. And Penis Gabriel says no. Penis Gabriel says his Zionist corporate Jeffman Records company has a plan for Africa. So chicken licking is chicken licking. Yada yada yada. You know what that translates to? Chicken licking is licking chicken.